elections is not only by trying to destroy decent people with ugly negative ads. The other thing that they try to do is to divide the American people up. And there is nobody who has done more, no president in American history who has done that more than Donald Trump. And let me just say this. You know, you have presidents historically who have been conservative, who have been liberal, progressive, but I think every president has instinctively understood that when you get to the Oval Office, your job as the leader of this country is to bring our people together. But now, for cheap political reasons, he thinks he can gain some votes. What we are seeing is a president who is dividing us up, a president who is pushing racism and sexism and homophobia and xenophobia. He wants us to dislike somebody because the color of their skin may be different than ours. He wants us to dislike somebody because they came from another country and they speak with an accent. Dislike somebody because their sexual orientation may be different than ours, their religion may be different than ours, and we say to Donald Trump, this country has struggled for too long fighting bigotry. We are not going back, we are going forward. We know how easy it is for demagogues to practice bigotry. We think back on the history not only of our own country, but virtually every country in the world. We think back to the attitude of the settlers who came to America and what they did to the Native American people, the terrible things that they did and how they demonized the Native American people. We think about the abomination of slavery and the racism that the African American people have had to undergo. And we think about the struggles of women who 100 years ago did not have the right to vote, but who said they will not be second-class citizens and stood up and fought back. The struggles of the gay community and the humiliation, the kinds of attacks that gay people suffered until they stood up and said that in America, people should have the right to love whoever they want. And we think back about the discrimination against Italians and Irish and Jews and the Asian people. I can remember, I read a book in Burlington, Vermont, in the 1920s. It was a big deal, when a Catholic was able to get a job in a bank which had been controlled by Protestants. That was then. So we have gone through decade after decade, where incredibly brave people who put their lives on the line fighting sexism, fighting racism, fighting all kinds of bigotry. That's the struggle we have gone through. And to think that we have a president of the United States who wants to take us backwards, who wants to have us hate Muslims or Mexicans or wherever the person was supposed to hate, is really unthinkable. So our message is to Trump, you are not going to divide us up. We are going to stand together and fight for a progressive agenda. is that progressive agenda, and here's some very good news. It is not only that the progressive agenda is gaining ascendancy all over this country, there's something else that is going on. And that is when we talk about the political revolution, it's not just the progressive agenda, that's very important. It is the understanding that the only way we transform this country is when millions of people get involved in the political process in a way that we have never seen. By the way, I am seeing this taking place all across the country. As I mentioned earlier this morning, I was in Racine. We had over 2,000 people coming out for Randall Brooks. In Wisconsin, you won a state Senate seat against all of the odds. All across this country, you're seeing working people and young people doing something which we have not seen for a long time. And they are understanding that in these perilous moments, not only are they going to get involved, not only are they going to get voting, not only are they going to support other candidates, many of them are now running for office. People who in a million years would not have thought that they would run for office. They're not running for school board, they're running for city council, they're running for state legislature, they are running for Congress. On November 7th, Republicans took a real beating in Virginia. And one of the beautiful things didn't get quite the attention that it deserved. It's not just that a Democrat became governor. More importantly, many people who were running for the very first time, young people, women, African Americans, people from the gay community, they were running and they were winning. And one of the happiest quotes that I can remember hearing is on election night, some Republican official in Virginia was saying, this is what he said, he said, "We were losing elections to people we had not ever heard of." In other words, these were young people, new people running for the first time who were out knocking on doors, talking common sense to their neighbors, and they were winning not just in New Jersey, but not just in New Jersey or Virginia, but all over the United States of America. To overcome a very serious psychological barrier here. And that barrier is, in terms of running for office, is to believe that the guy you see on television actually knows something that you don't know. Oh, I'm not smart enough. I don't have a PhD in economics. I'm not an expert on international affairs. I can't run for office. I don't know everything about education. I can't run for the school board. Do not believe that. If your heart is good, if your heart is full of love and compassion, if you are prepared to take on powerful special interest and work hard, you can run for office and you should be running for office. The truth is, Republicans win, and this is very clearly part of their tactics. They don't win elections because people think we should cut Social Security and give tax breaks to billionaires. Nobody believes that, maybe with the exception of the Koch brothers. Nobody believes that. You don't, mark my words, you're going to see a lot of 30-second ads in Wisconsin. You're not going to see one ad that says vote for candidate X because he wants to cut your Medicare and Medicaid and give tax breaks to large corporations. That ad you will not see. But what they will do is, in a dozen different ways, through their negativity and their lies, demoralize people. So you're going to have your neighbors saying, oh, everything is crap, they're all liars, I don't want to vote. And then we end up having one of the lowest voter turnout rates in the entire industrialized world. Don't fall for that stuff. Stand up. What we're talking about now is not just for our generation. It is for our children and our grandchildren and the future of this planet. I know that people turn on the TV and they turn it off and they are disgusted and they're angry and they're frustrated and they get depressed. But at the end of the day, what is at stake is so huge that despair is not an option. You're going to have to stand up and fight back whether you like it or not. In 2014, in the midterm elections, 4 years ago, Republicans won huge victories. And it turned out that the voter turnout in that national election was the lowest that it had been for a very, very long time. In my own state of Vermont, the voter turnout was lower than any time since World War II, if you can believe that. And that's how they win elections. They have the money, and if people do not come out and vote, they will win elections. If we raise the voter turnout by 5% or 10%, we will win landslide victories all across this country. And I say, being here on a college campus, I say to the young people, if you think politics is not relevant to your lives, man, are you mistaken. Politics is whether or not you're going to have health care. Politics is whether or not you're going to have a decent job. Politics is whether or not the air you breathe will be clean. Politics is whether or not you're going to leave school deeply in debt or not. That is politics. Get involved. Because if you don't, the other side surely will.